Hello everybody, welcome back to Alchemy Gaming. Today we are still working on Industrial Wonders and this is episode number 3. So far I'm liking this DLC and let's see what we need to do. So this time we have 2 objectives for the moment. By May 1912 and right now we're July 15th, 1911. So less than a year, we need to transport 500 passengers to Hoover Dam. Doesn't say it has to be from a certain city, so that should be easy enough. And then we also have to transport 40 loads of gravel from Hoover Dam. So you can use gravel however you want or ship it to the debris storage site in the city of Jean. So let's look quickly. Ragtown's at 12. I highly doubt it wants gravel. Let's look just for argument's sake. Okay, there's gravel there. Looks like you need to be 45. So Vegas could take gravel, I believe. We could ship a little bit there. It said what, 40 loads? So we could do that. We could also come down here and buy Clark County West for 574,000 and ship it down to Jean. Now, do we have... Oh, we do. Nice. So we could take this 1.7 million because if we just ship it to Las Vegas, it's going to take a while. So let's go ahead and line up a train to come back to Vegas Freight. We don't need it to be an express. Yeah, let's go with the mountain then. Freight, and we'll make sure it runs full and we'll bring that back. It really doesn't matter which side it goes into. And then coming back, it really doesn't matter what Vegas does come back. So we'll go with that. And then we're going to do a line down to Jean and ship some gravel down there as well. Okay, we have our line all laid out to Jean. So we're going to go Hoover Dam down to Jean. We're going to put our mountain on it. So I'm going to try manual. And we're going to go parting wagons. I want it to be all gravel. So that's fine. And then from Jean, it can be anything. So we'll just clear this off. Click on Jean. So Jean is going to get gravel. It's going to ship that out. And then Hoover Dam will be the opposite. It'll be getting whatever Jean sends it and then shipping gravel out. And I think I'll go 2 trains on that. Actually, let's go 1 train confirm on pause for just a second. Then we'll go ahead and copy it. So that will give us 8 coming over to Las Vegas. It'll get us 16 coming down the Jean. And we need a what? 24. So then maybe the Vegas will take a second train. If it would, that would be up to 32. And then worst case, we can always throw a 3rd train going down the Jean. I decided to bite the bullet and just put the 3rd train on going the Jean. And I also come in here and create a special line for it coming off the 3rd line. So that way it can load on its own side here and there should be no issues. Something else we're going to do is try to get Vegas growing again, because I looked at the beans, it was coming in, but something was going wrong with it. So I just deleted it and reset it again. So now it should bring in beans. Now Las Vegas has decided to put a cloth industry down. I don't really like that because we already had that in Boulder. It's kind of a waste. So now they want wool. We're going to bring in a line just up here over the top off its own platform number 2. We're going to bring it in full on a mountain train. That's fine. It only needs a single line for the moment. Then eventually when we get a little bit more money, we'll go down here and put a supply tower in because we're going to need that. We have 100 research available. We're going to take mafia stocks, which will reduce their construction costs of buildings, factories and railroad buildings by 5%. I really don't like this cloth factory in Las Vegas, so I'm going to buy it for 154,000 and then we're going to demolish it, and I'm hoping to put in a sawmill. Fortunately, I'm going to need quite a bit of money, 523,000. Okay, I was a little nervous, but we finally got enough money for a sawmill. We're going to lay that down, and this way Las Vegas should get wooden planks and sawdust. So they should be able to produce kind of like 2 things at once. What we might have to do is go in here to our wood and bring in a 2nd train. See, a train is just leaving Las Vegas now. There's a good chance we're going to have to bring in 2 trains. Once we get enough money, we'll go ahead and double that up. Shouldn't take too long, I don't think. There we go. Boom. We're sitting right now at 24 loads of gravel from our Hoover Dam, and we're at 115 passengers into Hoover Dam. We have another 100 research. We're going to take free drinks, which will reduce the cost of the well-being of our personnel by 5%. So Whitney has an industry slot open. We're going to throw down a paper mill. Now, really what would be more useful at the moment would be a wire drying plant because it creates copper wire and sulfur. But the problem is all my copper I need for it are down here in the red area, so I can't get at them anyway. So we're just going to leave it with paper, and at least Whitney and Las Vegas can swap paper. They have planks and sawdust coming back. And we're coming in to Jean or Jean, depending how you want to say it, with the last of our gravel, and that should knock off one of our tasks right here.
When the canyon was carved out for construction, huge amounts of rubble were created. This was transported off by rail.
Nice. So like I said, that's our 40 loads of gravel. Oh, look. So they opened up 2 more tasks. So right now it's October 18th, 1911. Just to recap, we need 500 passengers at Hoover Dam. We're at 394. So that's moving along nicely. In a year and a half's time, plus a little bit, by July 1914, we need to have 32 loads of wooden planks to Hoover Dam. So I guess it's now demanding it, which is a good thing. We stuck that in Las Vegas, so that's good. We'll have to grow it, of course. And then by February of the next year, we need 55,000 citizens in the Clark County West region. And that's the one we opened up to get at Jean. And then there's also Primm in there and Sloan. I think Sloan's just above right there. And Primm is down here, but looks like, yeah, they're going to need to be founded. So that's something we're going to have to start working on right now. So let's go into Las Vegas because it said we needed to bring wooden planks to Hoover Dam, and that's where the planks are coming from. Okay, we'll go into Las Vegas here. Great. We will go wooden planks. We'll pick a line later, and then we'll want that to come all the way down to Hoover Dam. And then Hoover Dam can bring back gravel if it wants. I don't care. So let's go ahead and do that. Put on freight. We're gonna throw down a line here between Jean and Primm, and we're gonna put line Scotsman Express down. We won't put any wagons because we're real tight on money, and we'll let that run back and forth automatic, so it'll bring people back and forth. That'll create a little bit of income, plus we need that line there anyways. If we come back up to Hoover Dam here and look, we're at 465 passengers. We have a train coming in here, 33. Just barely not enough. That's hilarious. We're gonna come in here and buy this wood for 77,000. Let's see, can we buy the grain too? We will if we can get enough money. And here we are coming into the site of the Hoover Dam with our last couple customers and knock over the other tasks that we need to have a certain amount of customers.
The workers were able to travel back and forth between Boulder City and the dam construction site by train. This made the work extremely efficient.
Perfect. So now we have our 500 passengers at Hoover Dam. So nothing changed down here. We're still at about the same. So we can let that be. These two things are creating income anyway, so we'll leave them. So we're going to jump down, as I said, and we're going to buy the grain over here as soon as we get up to, what do they want? 59. Now we probably don't have to buy it, but I just can't break that habit of trying to buy stuff, I guess, because then you can control it. It's true, it does demand money to grow, but at least you're able to. There we go. So then we're going to want to put a station down at either one and bring that in the Primm. Unfortunately, we're going to need meat, which is going to have to come from way up here in Whitney. And Whitney meats, well, I wouldn't say it's going amazing. Let's just put it that way. Even the paper mill doesn't seem like it's producing a whole lot. It's got enough, but it's at zero for some reason. Speaking of Whitney, we're going to go ahead and put an immigration office in here. That'll help it grow even faster. I don't think Boulder City is big enough to do that. Oh, it's getting close though. It is getting close. At 29, Ragtown's at 19, Colville Bay's at just under 13. And Jean down here is literally losing population, so I better get on it pretty quick here. And now we have our line from our wood in the Primm. And there's only a single line, but that's okay. We can do that for now. It's going to need to do 3 loads in there. So then the next thing, we'll bring in our grain in for 2 loads, and then we'll have to start working on some meat as well. I know when we started, we said we weren't going to bother with the passengers, but honestly, we kind of need income right now. I think if we go right here and take this observation car, they increase ticket prices by 5%. That would be a good thing. So now we have our station and our line locked in from the grain. A walker stop is there too. We're worried about the grain at the moment, and we're bringing that in the Primm freight to help bound the city because we're going to need 2 loads of that. As soon as our wood is done coming in the Primm, we're going to bring it up to Jean and start growing it. So we have our freight station set up in Sloan. We're going to go into this train right here that's running from Jean to Primm, and we're going to add in some stops. So let's see, we'll click on it. Okay, so right now it's only going Jean to Primm. We're going to go back to Jean, then Sloan, then back to Jean again. And that way it can create some more income without really buying another train is the idea behind that one. one anyways. And then the other thing we're going to have to do is go in and put a supply tower down. I seen there was a connection bonus of 286,000 here, so I made a quick station right here, put a train on it. It's going to come up to Sloan fully loaded, then down to Gene fully loaded, and that'll get me my connection bonus plus supply potatoes of both. They might even get them anyways, but it doesn't hurt anything, and we'll definitely gain from the connection bonus. Got a bit more research here. We're going to take air brakes, which is going to reduce our maintenance requirements by 5%, and we were almost at the point where we had enough money to upgrade our sawmill, and we're missing like 20,000, and it flipped over the January 1st, and of course all our interest became due. We're nowhere near being able to take a bond, so we just got to be patient and wait till this builds up so we can build a bigger sawmill in Las Vegas, because at the moment we're not making much progress. We have like 3 wooden planks to go to Hoover Dam, and we need like 32. Gonna be a little brutal here if I don't get this up faster soon. Okay, we're 10 days later in game here. Find the sawmill. There we go. We're going to upgrade it to level 2. So it's going to make double the planks and more double sawdust too, which is good. All right, we need Whitney to upgrade its meat factory so we can found Primm. So we're going to bump that up. That should help quite a bit. All right, we need to bring in some wool into Gene. So we put a station right here. We have a train coming in full. Looks like Boulder City. I can put down an immigration office. We're going to put that right here. Then we have some research available. We're going to take health insurance to reduce the cost of the well-being of our employees by 5%. So we want to get this beans up and running here. So we're going to bring in a load of wood into there with 1 mountain on it. Fine if it's a single line. We need potatoes. 12 potatoes come in there too. So where's our closest potatoes? Oh, right up here. Okay, perfect. So let's go in and bring in our potatoes. Let's go full. Put a mountain on that as well. We'll need a little bit of money here. Okay, wonderful. All right, we need to get our meat factory bigger. So we're going to click on this and go up to level 3 because we just hit the 60,000 population mark. We really need to get Primm expanded and see they still need 8 meat. And then also to get our beans, we need 4 meat over there. And more research. We're going to take electrical maintenance to reduce the maintenance time on our locomotives by 5%. All right. We now have an express line coming from Whitney Express down to Sloan. We haven't made an express station yet, so we'll just use the regular station. Got one flying Scotsman with our wagons on that. We're going to take this in-house production. It's going to lower our cost of new locomotives by 5%. And we finally got Primm established, so we can put production in. I think we'll put a clothing factory in right here. We can find a spot that'll accept it. Okay, fine. We'll just stick it right there, I guess. So I reworked everything here and put in express lines from Primm to Jean to Sloan. So we're bringing in Whitney Express, Sloan Express, avoiding the freight stations. And we're adding another express line here from Sloan to Jean with our flying Scotsman and our wagons. We already had one here between Jean and Primm. So that'll increase our income considerably. So here's our progress. We're still stuck at 9 of 32 for our lumber. And the problem is that we're not making enough. That's one thing. So we need 1 million to upgrade. And we also need to get into 60,000 population to do it. The other problem is we're bottlenecking right here. And so that's something I'm going to have to figure out here. Now we're going to put an express train in from Boulder City Express over to Sloan Express. We're not going to touch this wooden planks because we don't want to mess that up. We're going to put it on a Scotsman automatic with our 2 train wagons. Now the other thing we can do is go back to our train list here and see if any of our trains are pulling a big profit. E1, okay, so this one here, we could probably bump that up. There we go. Try to create some more profit. And then we built a warehouse in Jean, and we're going to bring in our meat there, and it'll kick it up to Sloan and down to Primm. As soon as we put our train in, Whitney Freight in the Jean Freight. Priorities the meat. We'll put on a mountain. Perfect. So if we look at here, we have 17 to 32 now. So now things are starting to move once we cleaned up that bottleneck. And down here, we're at 23 of 55. Something else we could do is go into Ragtown and put an immigration office in. That will help it grow. And let's see, this Colville Bay, they could get one too. There we go. Wonderful. We're going to go back here and take security compartments to increase our revenue for mailbags by an additional 5%. Now we have to get our milk up and running, so we're going to bring in a train of wood coming up here to our milk. Lay that down. So we'll need 12 wood. We'll need 1 grain and 4 meat. So for the meat, we can just go here, Whitney, and we'll connect this somehow. Go freight. We only need 4. That's fine. We'll fix that later. And then we'll need Walker coming up to here. We don't need this. Need that full mountain. Perfect. All right, we're having a little bit of a blockage here in Ragtown with our cheese, so we're going to upgrade that to level 2. That should ship more to Las Vegas, and we do have our last 7 now. And here we are coming in with our last load of lumber, and that should be enough. Another task to get knocked off.
The necessary timber had arrived in Boulder City. This allowed for the first scaffoldings to be erected.
All right, awesome. We got our last loads of wooden planks to Hoover Dam. And then we're left with this last one here that reached 55,000 citizens in Clark County West. We're at 31 right now. Let's go ahead and get rid of that train. We don't need that anymore. So where do we stand here? We got Sloan double growth, 100% or pretty close to 100%. We are trying to build this milk. Okay, we have our grain is in there. The meat is in there, so we can get rid of that. And then if we come back down here to find the one going northwest, it only needs 4 this second time around. And once we get that, we'll have the milk, and that'll help us bump up Jean for sure because it's already demanding milk. It's double growth, 17. And then Primm is double growth as well. We have more research. We're going to take parcel services, increase the amount of packages by 5%. And I see Vegas has grown over 60,000, so now we can bump up our sawmill. The computer went and stuck a sawmill down in Boulder City, which is dumb. So I don't know if eventually we could buy that and get rid of it and put something else in there. What should be in there is a clothing factory. I don't know. Can we get a bond? Oh, we can. All right, let's get a bond. Let's buy this sawmill. What a waste of money, but knock that down. Then we'll go ahead and put a clothing factory in, and then we can bump this up. Let's see, we're making how much? We're making 3.2 there. Let's bump it up twice to 3 levels, and then we're probably gonna have to go back here and make another train, bring in extra wool. See, Whitney could bump up the paper factory, so we're gonna do that. There, we got it up to level 2 now. Colville Bay is about to get an industry slot as soon as it hits 40, so we'll have to start thinking about what that could be. We already have bread, we have meat, we have cloth, we have dairy products, we have clothing, we have wooden planks, we have sawdust, and we have paper. The next thing up will be copper wire, but we can't get out any of those things. We could do tools, but we'd need steel first, so we'll think about that one. So Ragtown's grown. We can now put an industry slot. We're going to take a chance and put in this copper wire factory. Now I'm thinking later when we get down here we can get the copper there, and there's like iron here somewhere, and I'm hoping that'll work. Colville Bay also has an industry slot open, so we have meat already, we have this, we have the full front line. We could go chemical plant, but we need sulfur and we need slag. I don't even know where slag is. Do you even have slag anywhere? Do you see that? I don't see like any slag anywhere close. So if we don't do that, we could go steel, which we need coal and we need iron. So coal is okay in areas we can't get to, and iron, yeah, that was the iron I said. So these two will be for the wire. So coal, that puts it pretty far. Like, I don't know what else is in Colville Bay that it needs. Maybe there's something that's just simply not getting. Let's see, it's getting bread, getting cloth. It's a little low on the meat. I'm not really sure why is the meat just, yeah, there's plenty of meat. We just got to ship it up. I don't know. I think I'll just maybe leave it empty because I really don't know what to put there. Could go dairy, I guess. How's it doing on the dairy end of things? So we did run a train of meat from Whitney up to Colville Bay. We're going to throw in our dairy right now. If nothing else, it'll hold an industry slot open for later in case we need one. I'm thinking we will because there's quite a few things I see that we should need at some point, like wire and explosives and whatnot. So worst case, we'll just go back in, knock it down, and then rebuild something else that's better. So we'll throw a train on here and have it get the milk it needs coming in. Make sure it's full. Is there enough milk? Well, we're gonna have to hope these guys expand a bit. And then we have our milk coming in the Sloan freight, and we're gonna go and put another one on the Jean freight, and that will help them grow even more. We're gonna take this heating to increase ticket passenger prices by 5%.
The construction of the Hoover Dam started an economic boom that caused the entire region to grow exponentially. With the successful redirection of the Colorado River, the foundation of the Hoover Dam was laid. Now, tons of concrete had to be poured into huge formwork to create a stable base for the enormous structure. To that end, an effective concrete production had to be set up first.
Okay, we finally hit our last task, which was to grow this area here, the 55,000. Our most populous city is, I believe, Boulder City at 87. Whitney's at 60. 67, Las Vegas at 81, Raytown's at 52, Colorado Bay's at 48, and then these guys are just growing. The most populous one is Jean at 26. If you like that video, like, comment, subscribe, come back and watch another great video of Ike and Me Gaming.